And we are recording podcast episode 2.
Yeah, bro.
Of the 7th Day Pod. I'm Reagan Corley.
I'm Noah Brannon.
And this is where we ask each other 7 questions. I come up with 3, you come up with 3, and what is the last question?
It usually comes from, a homie or a comment section. I think we're going to try and include y'all as much as possible with comments or emails. You can email us questions or anything like that.
So, goal is y'all give us a question to answer. That would be one of our last questions. So released our first pod, so we'll be able to look at the comment section on there on YouTube for a question. And then email would be the7thdaypod@gmail.com. Nothing too fancy, just the classic @gmail.com.
Yeah.
That's us, man. Ask us questions, biblical questions, silly questions, appropriate questions. Dude, ready to ball out. Dude, Noah, do you want to start with our first question?
Yeah, I'll start. I'm gonna start us off a little chill, a little silly, a little fun question. Jerry.
Wait, I take a second to talk about what I'm drinking right now.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Because this is kind of tough. All right, so Snapple. Snapple is this brand. They started off with tea. I think they started with tea, and I used to love their tea. But then they made juice flavored juices, and there's this apple version that tastes and smells
so good, bro.
Like a Honeycrisp apple.
Yeah,
like a Honeycrisp,
like
you
identical.
Just eat into a Honeycrisp apple, and you smell it. You open this, and you smell the same exact thing. So Noah and I did this trick back in the day when we were just youngins, about 7 months ago.
Poor day, bro.
And
we'll get into that for sure.
And we had Gatorade and a bottle that's similar to the one I have, a big bottle, a Gatorade bottle, and we put it in the freezer for around 30 minutes ish, and it doesn't freeze all the way, but it turns into a slush. And then I got this Snapple bottle at the gas station today, and I decided I would freeze it to try to make it a slush, and bro, it's like a slushy apple juice. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's it looks tough. It tasted tough.
Tasted tough, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what's your question?
My question is, what is the origin of the sound?
Did we both just answer it?
Okay. Well, yeah, this is just both of us.
Okay.
I guess we're just explaining it to them.
Do you want me to start answering since you asked the question?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Okay, all right. So you've probably seen the video. It's like a pufferfish eating a carrot.
Yeah, we could probably put a link in the description.
I don't even know, maybe.
Yeah, I could probably
maybe there's a link in the description.
I could do that.
And anyway, so it's the pufferfish is eating a carrot and it's he's just enjoying it. So anytime there's something that we just we think is super rad or we're really enjoying it, I take a sip of the Snapple and I'm like, so good.
Yeah, bro.
So anytime we do that, it just means 2 thumbs up, 5 stars.
Yeah, as crispy as possible.
But what's the origin?
I think we started doing it poor day. I think we literally watched the pufferfish video and we started laughing so hard and just started doing it on the trip. And now it's just normal.
I feel I don't know the origin that we have of it. I
feel it's something like that. It might not have been poor day. Should we go into that? The poor day trip, bro?
We went to the beach.
Yeah.
And now we've gone into it, and now we're getting out of it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Because we got 7 questions and not too much time.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically it.
That's basically it. Yeah.
Just, if you hear us doing that, it means, it's tough. It's good. We had the tough. We're just going to move on from the tough.
So what if I go into a biblical question next?
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that I thought about the last pod is, what do you think about the possibility of... Well, it's weird saying this because, it's interesting. What do you think of the possibility that us humans could change God's mind about something? You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know if you've read it, but Abraham, right? He's, God's talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, and Sodom and Gomorrah is just
why is Gomorrah?
Bro, shut up. Not actually. Okay. So you know how like so Sodom and Gomorrah was just full of places, just sin. It was completely corrupted, and God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But Abraham, like before God destroyed the city, Abraham's like, Lord, if there's just like 50 people in that city that are still faithful to you, like then please like don't destroy the city. And then God's like, okay, sure, fine, I'll do that. And then Abraham's like, okay, well, since you said 50, well, how about 30? Like, if there's 30 people in there that know you, then don't destroy the thing. It's like, okay, fine, I'll do that too. And then Abraham starts getting, the fear of the Lord overwhelms him, and he's like, oh Lord, if I'm even able to ask you this, Lord, if there's just 10 people in the city, will you spare them? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like he's like basically in a way changing God's mind. Like God was going to destroy it, but then Abraham was like, oh, do this.
That's interesting.
So what do you think?
I personally wouldn't say necessarily that he completely changed God's mind. I would almost go as far to say as God has are you looking at the YouTube quote?
No, I'm just trying to see if I can find some like scripture on it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I feel like there's certain points where God knows what he's going to do, but I don't feel like maybe he doesn't always know how that process is going to happen. Mm-hmm. Like maybe that's up to us. I don't know. It kind of goes into predestination.
Yeah.
Definitely goes into that. And just like how, if God predestined all that's going to happen, how did Abraham change his mind? And obviously, there's some kind of free will that can't be denied. Like we have had a choice. Like Adam and Eve ate the apple willingly. Like they betrayed God. That's the reason why they sinned, is because they chose to disobey God. Like that was their choice. But there's also an aspect of predestination. Like I don't think that's not true either. I think it's like a good blend of both, like a perfect blend of both that only God can fathom, because we are only human. Yeah, that's my answer. Like we're not God, and I think that's kind of beautiful in its own way. Like we can't understand everything, and we don't have to understand everything.
Yeah, that's big. I think we cannot change God's will and change his plan. I mean, like when I read that, I think like yes, like I think that's God like showing that he cares about us, right? And he cares about like our thoughts, right? But I think that God from the start knew what he was going to do, and he had an official plan of what was going to happen, exactly. And he knew that Abraham was going to be asking him that, requesting that of him, right? And maybe that was just to show his love. He's like, okay, Abraham, like I'll do this for you, right? So I think that it was just kind of like a plan that he had to show his love, kind of thing. And if you want to get into predestination, something like that, then I think that God has his perfect plan laid out. That's something that's going to happen, and we, that could mean some people are predestined, some people are not. But I know that because God is all loving, that can exist. Like God can predestine people for heaven and predestine people for hell, and still do that in the most loving manner possible, because he is love. Yeah. Right? And I know he's only capable of that. Yeah. So it's like people who are like, oh, but is it really love if he's only predestining certain people? I think, yeah, it can be, because I know from scripture that God is love. That's who he is, right? So I think that out of love, it was already his original intent. Okay. For Abraham to request that and him to grant that.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my question.
That's big. I like that. That was deep.
That was good.
For sure. I guess I can continue on like that same similar spiritual thing. I think this question's a little broad, but I'm kind of wanting to get a little more specific, and like how we go about it. How, like, basically my question for the both of us is like, how were we saved? Like, how did we come to accept Jesus in our hearts? And more specifically, like, what are some things that happened, that, like, in that, like, in that journey, I guess, or in that plan that God made for us?
Yeah, it's like, what's our testimony?
Yeah, like, what is that like?
It's a good question. Yeah. For me, that's a good question. I feel like I haven't shared it in a while because like I haven't like met any new
it
people to
changes.
share. Well, yeah, things get added on and stuff. I feel like you have a testimony and then like your like basic testimony, and there's still stuff that happens after that. But like the point where you kind of like that you're saved for sure.
Yeah.
You know your salvation belongs to the Lord at that point, and well, it always has. But anyway, I think I guess I was raised in a Christian home. I was raised. My parents came to Christ while I was still really young, totally transformed, and they loved the Lord wholeheartedly. So I was basically raised in a Christian home. Like at first, like we weren't necessarily like my parents weren't necessarily like devout Christians at first, but they came to Christ while I was still super super young. So I basically was raised in a really strong Christian family. And of course, right now my parents are goats. But yeah, so it was kind of always a cultural thing for me to be at church and believe in Christ. It's like, oh yeah, Jesus died for my sins. That's great. Like hoorah, right? But I feel like maybe I even took it a step further and I was like, okay, yeah, this is really cool. So like I need to make sure like I'm acting good, or I'm doing what the Bible tells me to do, or what my parents tell me to do. Because I feel like I was just kind of like a good kid.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't have one of those stories where it's like, oh, I was just lost in all this sin and then God brought me out of it. It was like, of course, yeah, I'm a sinner. That's definitely the case. Of course, I'm a sinner, but I'm saying like, I was not necessarily like, I probably looked like a Christian kid to most people, if that would make sense. Yeah, kind of growing up, and I like got baptized when I was super young. I feel like I didn't really know exactly what I was doing. Yeah, and then honestly, I think like summer, even going into my ninth grade year as a freshman, I was at one of my like church camps. It wasn't Sundays. I was like with some like small church, and we were all doing like worship. We were all worshiping, and I feel like a lot of times in these kind of camps, like people get emotional, like you never know what that means. And like so, I was like like raising my hands, I was worshiping, and then the thought kind of just hit me like, what am I doing right now? Like, what am I actually doing? Like why are people crying? Why are people raising their hands right now? Like, what am I doing? Like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like if there's no purpose behind it, it's weird.
Fair
like,
enough.
I get like if there is no God, or if I don't actually believe in God, then this is just weird. Why am I doing it? Of course I believed in God, so it wasn't like is God real? It was like, let me just make sure I know what I'm doing this for. And then it kind of thought just hit me like, oh, because there's a God. And then like you kind of just remember like who God is, because that's the way I was taught growing up of who God was and what He's done for me. And it's just like, whoa, like, oh my gosh, God is real, and His love is real, and He's worthy of my praise. So it's like, then your life begins to change. You're like, okay, I need to start doing stuff according to my Father's will, and I want to surrender to Him. So that was maybe like the start of my intentional relational walk with Christ.
Let's go, bro.
But I think that the Lord had me at a very young age, for sure.
Let's go, bro. That's awesome. I think that's huge that, like, like, you had this idea, like, oh, I need to follow these rules. I need to do what all these people are telling me, what this book tells me. But when your goal is just surrendering to the Father, like, that's huge, bro. Like, when you fully understand like what you're doing and why you're doing it, like Ryan Oakes, he's taught me. I mean, he's taught me a lot, but he's our youth pastor. He told me that, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? And that, like, mindset, like, when you're going into anything, is huge. Like, just understanding what is the purpose of what you're doing. It just helps, like, in everything,
Yeah, for sure.
It's huge.
Yeah. You gave your testimony?
Yeah, man, I guess. I guess a big part of my testimony, it kind of starts when I was 8. in second grade. I think I sort of shared on this. I was I went to Antioch in Waco, and I mean my dad, he loved Jesus. He took us to church and stuff, and I feel like I really didn't know why. Like, he took us to church. I didn't know, like, I knew there was a God. I knew there was this guy. There's these songs that everybody sang. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I know, and I know of, like, Jesus dying on the cross, but instead of, like, actually understanding and comprehending that as a kid, I just kind of, like, looked at it as like a figure, like another object or thing I have to do in my life.
Yeah.
And I think since second grade, I feel like because of that was my mindset, because that's what I believed about God. It's just corrupted my faith, corrupted my walk, into where I really don't fully believe that I accepted Jesus into my heart at that age. I really don't think I actually understood the concept, like the genuine love that God had for you. I wanted the feeling more than the actual, actual belief, actual faith. And I think when when I came to Highland in 9th grade, Carson Butler, bro, shout out to that guy. He showed me Highland. He brought me there. And I literally walked in for the first day, and I immediately just saw, like, this humongous difference in how everybody treated each other and acted. It was so loving. It was so pure. Everybody just treated each other so kindly. I was just so different than the culture that I'd experienced at school. And yeah, like, I saw that, and I was like, dude, like, why? Like, why? What's so different about them? Mm-hmm. And once I figured out that reason was because of their faith in Christ and what Jesus and God had done through them, I understood, like, dude, this is huge. This is real. I understood, like, the depth of what they're doing and why they're doing it. And yeah, one of Caleb Brooks introduced me to getting discipled with Ryan. I think my faith has almost exploded a lot because of Ryan.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Out to Caleb Brooks, Ryan Oakes,
Caleb Butler.
Carson Butler, and Caleb Brooks.
Caleb Brooks, yeah.
Because he gave me shout out to Ryan. Caleb.
Homies, bro.
Yeah,
dude,
bro.
Good answer, bro.
Thank you.
Good answer. That one was like mid too.
All right. Are we transitioning?
I guess so, because we don't have too much time still. So, like,
yeah.
All right, transition. I guess we should maybe do like a silly something.
Yeah.
Silly something. Mm-hmm. So, all right. Since I was drinking my Snapple, right? Drinking my Snapple, and we went to the gas station. I had to get gas, so we happened to get some Snapple while we were at the gas station. And I was thinking while we were there, like, what is your go-to snack and drink at the gas station?
Good one.
Snack and drink combo.
We have talked about this. I don't know if it was a pod or something, but I think we
talked
about
it. Yeah,
this.
something. Yeah.
That's just, some of these answers are hard for me. Like, the Chick-fil-A one was hard for me because, like, I feel like a lot of people have their go-to, but I kind of just, I'm basically fine with everything. Yeah, like, whatever just sounds better.
Yeah.
I can give some examples, like.
Well, okay, how about this? If we were to go to the gas station now, and you could
right now?
In the thing, yeah. So it may not be your, like, every time you go, but, like, right now, what are you getting?
Yeah. So, that's tough. I feel like I'd get a Dr. Pepper. I feel like I've really started craving Dr. Pepper more than usual. I
understand the feeling.
Whoa. I'm sorry, bro. It's just, yeah, I don't know why. I recently started, I didn't really drink a lot of soda, I feel like. I drink it, but I feel like now, once I started drinking more and understanding just the awe
of Dr. Pepper, bro.
Yeah, I started liking it so much more. So yeah, definitely that. And then I feel like goldfish is a good go-to, like...
Goldfish is.
Yeah, like a good, solid go-to, like, snack. Like, I feel like it never fails.
It's the snack that smiles back, bro.
Facts, bro.
Goldfish. Oh, that hurt. The snack that smiles back.
Grimace. Shout out to Grimace.
Shout out to
what
Grimace,
a guy,
guys.
bro.
Grimace the Okay, so you're getting a DP and you're getting some goldfish.
Yeah, right now.
Not flavor blasted, just regular goldfish.
I low-key flavor blasted.
Flavor blasted.
Because, like, it gets on your hands and you lick. Oh. Low-key, bro. Like, some people don't like doing that because it's, like, dirty and gross, bro. It's so
I feel like licking your fingers is chilling, but, like, if you're, like, with a bunch of people, I don't want to, like, out of generosity to them, I don't want to lick my fingers in front of them, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm by myself, bro. You know I'm licking my fingers. I got some of that goldfish dust on my fingers. You know how
dude, that
sounds actually so good right now, bro.
Yeah, bro.
All right, my go-to. All right, so I'm on my no soda. I'm on my no soda grind
Literally,
for this whole entire year, and it's not even the end of the month, and I'm already struggling. But this Snapple is tough. I enjoyed this Snapple.
Okay.
Specifically, this apple one. The strawberry kiwi is also really good too. But I think low-key probably lemonade is what I get more.
Yeah.
But sometimes they don't have
like
good lemonade. So I think honestly, or like vitamin water. Okay, but like right now, because the question is what we get right now. I'd say I'd get a Snapple, and low-key if I could, I'd freeze it and slushify it. It's already like liquid now. It's like
that's so tough though.
It is so tough. And then honestly, probably would be Gatorade on a different day. And then my snack, bro, I don't know. That always changes too, you know?
Yeah. It's so
like it's whatever you're feeling. Like I feel like every time I go to the gas station and get like a drink and a snack, I like sit there for like 20 minutes and just think about what I want to get.
Yeah.
Until I pick something and I'm still like not even sure if I'm satisfied with my choice.
Satisfied with your care?
Yeah. Low-key, what sounds really good right now though.
Just move on from that.
Yeah. Low-key kind of like bold Chex Mix. Something with a lot of like flavor.
Oh, dude, those Muddy Buddies. Oh,
Muddy Buddies are good. Yeah, but those are more like
that's
sweet.
a good go-to
savory.
sweet.
Like, yeah, like savory snack.
What were you saying though?
Like Chex Mix.
Oh yeah.
But like the you know like the black ones that are bold, so like extra flavor.
Oh my, those
Yeah.
are they're just so strong.
Yeah, like
those
right
are
now,
tough.
that
I could get a
sounds
bag
really
of just
good.
those, bro.
Oh, so mid that low.
All right, let's just give up.
All right.
Give up on that.
2 more questions, and then we're gonna find one from the comments.
Yeah. I guess my question is, it's kind of similar, but it's a little more. Nah, it's not really similar. Yeah, we're kind of bringing it back to like about God, about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like. Yeah. Okay, I got the words. Like what is something right now that you feel like you're struggling with spiritually? Like, what is something like that is hard that you feel like you could use maybe prayer for or something like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think I've just kind of like been thinking through like what it looks like to. I kind of talked about this in the last one, just like what it looks like to be fully surrendered to the Lord and kind of let Him cook, if you will.
Yeah,
I feel like I do a lot of just striving on my own, like by my own strength, and I can kind of like feel like the battle of that, right? But I'm just kind of like. I kind of find so much weakness in myself in that, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because like, I can boast in my weakness, knowing that the Lord is strong in my weakness. But I think it's just been kind of hard to like keep up because school's it's really stressful right now.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of shows, like plays and choir performances coming up, and I like have not had time to do things. And sometimes I have to like physically, I'm like spiritually fighting to like spend time with the Lord. Because I'm either physically tired or I'm just like not feeling it, and I feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot of striving going on in me, and I'm like trying to figure out like, okay, well, what does it look like to be surrendered to the Lord, and just to come to Him and rest in Him, but also being disciplined in my walk with Christ. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's the balance between letting the Lord do the work and then actually being disciplined, right? So it's like, what is like the way that I can approach the Lord and find rest in that? I think one thing I've been learning is that like I need to approach the Word as the Word of God, the Bible, as the Lord's actual Word, and understand that because my Father's in control, that coming to Him and talking to Him is just can provide rest. There's so much peace in knowing that He's in control, so I'm able to go to Him and find rest in that, you know? Yeah. Guess that's all I'll share.
Dude, that's huge.
Yeah. Shout out to my mom in the kitchen who's being loud.
W mom, bro.
W mom. Oh.
Bro, I mean, I guess I can share my little struggles right now. I mean, I think the biggest thing right now, and I mean, it's been this, but I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of fluctuated on what the effect is of this problem. The problem I feel like I'm struggling with right now is probably like pride, pridefulness, and then through that, I think the biggest outcome recently has been like, or the biggest problem because of me being prideful has been like laziness, and just looking past who God is and what He's done for me, looking past that, and doing what I desire, doing what I want, and just forgetting what God wants. Trying to do what God wants me to do. And I think the goal should be to just fulfill what God wants and asks of me, and it shouldn't be to have like going to church and going to spending time with dudes and talking about Jesus, but not living other than that outside, like for
like
Jesus, like outside of it.
Outside of it,
yeah. Just I feel like I don't want my relationship to be built on the guys from Highland. I don't want my relationship to be built on like Ryan. I want my relationship to be me and God.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge. I think I need to focus on that more.
Yeah, it's like making your faith your own and not your friends and your leaders, and like learning things for yourself. Like,
and those guys like Reagan, all these guys in my life are so awesome and so great. It's just I feel like because of my pride, I've kind of corrupted that view of these dudes in my life, and I can, I should probably focus on my personal relationship with God, and then through that, like,
big
grow.
time. Big time, bro.
Dude. Good to be vulnerable, bro.
I like to dap up. Yeah, bro. Dude, that's good, bro. Thanks for sharing that, man. So I guess we have one more question before the comment section question.
Do you remember the comment second question?
Oh, I can look it up here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my question. So I had to bring this up.
Okay.
Because
that's a good sign.
Because the last pod we did, we talked about something that's basically the same thing, and it was so fun, and we got into so much depth, and it was hilarious. It was so good.
Okay.
And the question last time was, if you were to open up your own restaurant, and whatever kind of like stuff you would make, or like whatever dish you would make, that dish would be the best dish in the world. Yeah. So like, Noah opened up an Italian restaurant. Oh, what would the restaurant be called? What would the dish be? And where would it be? Where would it be located? So Noah like made a Italian restaurant on the beach called like La Brennan or something.
Yeah.
His last name's Brandon. And then his like dish that was the best in the world would be chicken parm. So like Lebanon's chicken parm would be the best chicken parm in the world, right? So now, I'm saying, you have to make a store, a shop, or something, and you have the best something in the world.
Oh.
But it's not food this time. It's like
anything.
You know, it could be like bike shop. I don't know.
Computers.
Whatever.
Yeah,
computers.
something like that.
Or it could be drinks. That's not necessarily food.
Yeah.
So like something like drinks.
We talked about this, bro.
All right. Yeah. Get the jacket off. Warm up for this one. This is big.
Shout out to Reagan's shirt.
Yes. That's facts. Shout out to Jordan Johnson for gifting me that shirt for Christmas.
Legend, bro. What did you say?
Now to the King eternal, immortal, invisible, the only God, be honor and glory forever and ever. Amen. That's tough.
Tough, bro.
It's tough. All right. What's your answer, dog? On the clock. We don't have a lot of time.
Oh, yeah. I also did want to say, you never gave a name for yours last time.
Oh, I never gave a name?
You could just think of something while I'm talking.
Oh, yeah. I'll think of something like that. That's facts. I never gave a name. Dude. All right.
Yeah, so I talked about this like super briefly with Reagan, and I rewatched it. I was like, that's a good idea. So Reagan was talking about a burger shop, and he's like debating mountains or beach, right? And I was thinking, what if I put my shop on the mountain, and it's just like a super chill, like brewery, coffee, but the best thing in the world is their hot chocolate. All right, so it's placed. This is a chain.
Like the best hot chocolate in the world.
No. This is a chain restaurant, like everywhere in the mountains, right? Like all over Colorado, all over Utah, like everywhere, dude. And they're all known for the best hot chocolate, and they're always located on ski resorts with a drive-through, ski and drive-through,
dude,
to where they can get the hot chocolate.
That's not dangerous even a little bit.
That is a great idea, bro.
That's tough.
Oh,
dude. Just like
so tough.
Think about the best hot chocolate in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, how good is that hot chocolate? You know what I'm saying? Imagine, like, it's wintertime, bro.
I don't want some.
It's snowing outside, and then you pick up this mug, and you sip it, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the best hot chocolate I've ever had, and I will ever have in my life.
Wow.
You're like, you're forever changed.
Wow.
Like, that's...
Every episode, I'm going to do that once, bro. Wow.
To raise the hands. No, but like honestly, it's insane to have the best hot chocolate in the world. So I think that is such a feat, and you can like, there's like, oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
I like that answer.
It was okay. It was okay.
It was a good tap.
Okay, like what if you walk in like it's super warm and toasty. It's like freaking like -3 outside. You can like see the smoke and the snow coming in as you open the door.
Steam.
And then you're just like snow boots on, the snow getting all over the floor.
Yes, bro. But it's not like too much where it's like soggy.
Yeah, it's just like just at the entrance.
Yeah.
Such
like
a vibe,
the
bro.
aesthetic.
Yes, bro.
Dude, that's
That'd
tough,
be so
bro.
good.
All right, for me, because we have a lot of time, I'll hurry. Don't have a lot of time, I'll hurry.
What was
I
the
wouldn't
name?
want to make.
Do you think of it?
Oh, okay. So last episode, my restaurant that I made, it was a tiki hut, kind of like, but not like gross tiki hut, like really cool tiki hut. Like there's like gonna be like a bonfire. We have free s'mores between like certain hours of the night for like the kids and stuff. And then there's like swinging, like benches, like you know, like stools, patios, cornholes, cool stuff, and like the best burgers in the world. I feel like it has to be beachy.
Yeah, you said.
You know. Cause it's on the beach, but like, what's beachy? I don't know why I'm thinking like La Playa, cause La Playa is Spanish and beach, right?
La Playa?
Playa.
I think that's like. What's that one
Playa?
fruit? It's like a papaya.
No, it's definitely not. That's definitely not.
I was like, what? Maybe you're
remember.
right. You might be right. This is so bad. We're going to Guatemala.
Well, going to Guatemala. Oh.
Should we?
Hey guys, we're going to Guatemala. If you want to fundraise for Guatemala, email us at the7thapod@gmail.com.
Yeah, we actually like.
And we can chat about it.
Yeah, we'll probably just split the. I mean,
yes.
It'll just
yeah. Well, it'll go to the
thing.
whole church, and we're all trying to get
Yeah, that's huge. I think we should probably shout that out because we're going on a mission trip for 10 days. Yeah. Going on a mission trip for 10 days. We need.
It's not 10 days.
It's not?
No, it's like 7, I think. It's like a week.
I thought it was like 2 weeks.
No, I think, yeah. No, it's definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not that way.
Well, yeah, we need to raise money. So if y'all could donate, that would be so awesome to help us on our.
And we're not just raising money for us. We're raising money for everyone who's going.
Yeah, if y'all donate, literally 100% of the profits will go straight to the organization. Absolutely nothing will be
nothing.
For us.
It's just part of it is paying for our trip.
Yeah,
but it's paying for everybody's trip.
Yeah,
so
it'll go.
It's all going to the trip. And if we earn extra money, then the trip's already paid for. Then all of the extra profit will go to the actual mission that we're going to in Guatemala.
The people there,
and it's it's like in a way it's like an orphanage. So it's for like kids in Guatemala. Yeah,
that's good.
Anyway, email us at the Seventh Day Pod.
Yeah, at gmail.com.
At gmail.com if you want to talk to us about that.
Let's go.
We'll chat and get that done. But to answer your question, I think the name, I'm gonna have to keep thinking about it, and maybe at the end of this pod I'll have it. But for the store that I'd open up, right? Well, what are you selling in your store? Oh, the hot chocolate. So it's just like a coffee kind of hot chocolate.
Like something just like Common Grounds kind of.
So get this, bro.
I know what you're gonna say.
So you know I'm gonna say music store.
Oh, I did not think.
What do you think I was gonna say?
I was gonna say snow cones because you talked about it yesterday.
Nah, no. All right.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
So the best music store in the world. Like, come on. That's all I need to say. The best music store in the world.
But like, okay, that's a great idea. But what specifically is the best? Just everything.
It has the best selection of guitars, the best selection of pianos, the best selection of drums.
So it just has everything?
The best selection of, whatever you need. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like...
Here's my thing. I think one of the best music stores in the world, but the best employees.
Oh, like super
I want my employees to be super talented musicians. Love the Lord. How tough.
Let's go.
But they're also really good at, like, teaching. So, like, hey, like, let me teach you how to play guitar, let me teach you how to play this. And then they're good at, like, let me teach you how to record audio, let me teach you how to make your own music, let me teach you how to make podcasts, let me teach you what microphone to get if you're trying to film a podcast with your buddy named Noah Brandon in your living room. Because places like this in Waco...
Bro, look at the DAP.
Oh, the DAP, bro, yes. Places like in Waco do not have a music store where the employees are, like, top tier and are super, super, super helpful. And are, like, great dudes. Yeah. But if I had a music store that was tough and super, super tough, and the employees were like John's, that would be insane.
John Durham.
Boom.
Tough.
I like it. All right. That was all of our questions.
Yeah.
So now our last question is going to come from our comment section of our last video.
Let's go.
Which is...
I want to go ahead and shout out my homie Hudson Lee Pereira.
Our guy.
He is an absolute legend. He was the one who commented, and the guy we're choosing to...
yes. So, okay, Hudson said, question, what's something from Jesus' teachings that could totally change the world if everyone followed it? It's a good question. It's a good question. Something from Jesus' teachings that if everyone were to follow now, would change the world.
What is this?
I feel like all of them.
Well, I think he's saying specific.
I know, obviously. But I'm saying, like, if you think about it, like, I feel like every single one of his teachings, if that was something that everybody followed today, lots of stuff would be different.
Dude, Jesus is like,
I feel like I have a cheat code with one answer.
Is it John 3:16? Mm-mm. What is it?
Mm-mm. That's not necessarily a teaching.
Well,
maybe.
I thought he was saying
like a parable or
words,
teaching.
like his...
I think it's teaching. Like commandments teaching.
Okay. I mean, he's teaching Nicodemus. He's telling him this, like he's helping Nicodemus learn because he didn't understand. He's explaining it to him. I mean, are you talking about like?
I think the question is like,
disciples?
what is like one of Jesus's commandments and teachings that he's asking of us that if everyone followed would change the world?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. What's your answer?
You want me to answer first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think a cheat code would be like I can't remember specifically what verse it is. It's like a new command I give to you: love one another, as I have loved you.
Yeah. Oh, that's a super good
I think
one, bro.
if everyone loved each other like God loves us,
Bro.
then that would basically mean that everyone
We're in
have to like. I mean heaven, yeah.
Basically.
So I mean, like that's kind of the cheat code. I feel like, and here's the thing: God says, "If you love me, you keep my commandments." And it's like I feel like if everyone had God's love and used that, right? Like everyone followed that teaching of loving everyone, then everyone would follow the commandments as well. You know what I'm saying? And then things would fall in line.
Yeah, just fun.
So I kind of like cheat coded that.
Yeah, that's good.
What do you got?
Dude, I put or I guess I'm gonna put in John 5 where he healed the guy at the pool on the Sabbath, where this is basically like his first or one of the first signs when the guy's like understood, okay, maybe Jesus is like real, we need to arrest him. You know.
Oh yeah.
Because that's where he like picked up the mat and they're like, oh, he actually like healed him, we need to kill him, he's like a witch or something like that. I don't know what their thought process was on that. He's literally Jesus Christ, but
Bro, it's just like dog.
Literally
Jesus Christ. I don't even know what they're thinking.
Literally, these two sentences. Do you want to be healed? Get up, take your bed, and walk. Like if we literally all just like listened to what God tells us, like if we all listen and let God work in our lives through like this, like something like this, imagine how much.
But that's very specific to a situation though.
Yeah.
Because what if God's not gonna heal you? You know what I'm saying? What if you're going through something you need God to heal you? You think you need God to heal you, but His answer is no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I meant more of just like, if God asks you something and like it's of God, like you prayed about it, dude, listen,
Yeah.
I think that's tough. Just being more attentive to.
So literally just listening to Him, kind of thing. So like if
basically.
everyone listened to Him and just obeyed what He said.
I mean, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I like that.
Big time. Well, that was 7 questions on the 7th Day Pod.
It was.
So, is it time for an outro?
I feel like we should do like one more thing.
Like what?
Like a.
Well, last time we opened
like
pack Pokemon cards and it was
Like
money.
a.
Wait. See y'all.